back, guys, to another episode of All Things Single Seater. I'm here with Jordan for the Monaco Grand Prix review. How are we, Jordan?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Very exciting race. Very exciting race. And Perez won. So I'm actually
Yeah.
very happy about that. I feel he kind of really deserved that after last time out in Spain. And yeah, it was really exciting. Lots to discuss and lots to talk about. Really. What would you say about the start of the race? Do you think we were right to postpone the start of the race because of the weather?
Um, Partly, I think even if we did start racing, like as soon as it hit 2 o'clock, like our time, um, then it would have been red flagged anyway. So it made sense. Um, but then the weird part was that the safety car then didn't go round track see on like the actual track if it was okay. It was all a bit weird. I felt like they was changing their mind, but it didn't actually make sense.
Yeah.
Um, Safety comes first. That's the main priority.
Yeah. No, of course. I think it was a little bit annoying at the start because we were there kind of thinking like, come on, it's just into weather. Like, I mean, I tweeted the FIA because I'm an idiot. And I said that we might as well just not have wet weather tyres anymore because when it gets to wet weather, it's always a red flag or a safety car. Like, that's what it feels like. I mean, I know it did get quite hard and I get that, but it would have been nice to have like a safety car, like a formation lap and then like a rolling start on the inters and then red flag it if it needed it. But they were saying that they were predicting rain, which is why they weren't starting the race. But the commentators were like, well, if it's not on the track now, why are we not going now? Um, but I get it. I get it. There's two arguments, isn't there, for
Yeah.
it? Like safety, in the matter of safety, I guess you can't really moan too much. And we still had a great race when it did restart. I mean, I didn't think it was going to work when Sainz said he wanted to stay out on the wets and go straight to slicks. But that strategy did kind of really work for him. Sergio going onto the Inters first was a really good call, and that kind of won him the race really. Before, I know obviously Ferrari had the issue with Charles pitting, which was a disaster. I have no idea how that even happened, but Perez would have overtaken Charles anyway because he did the undercut on the Inters and he was that much faster. So I think it cost Charles third, really. Obviously, we don't know what they would have done if they would have told Sainz to get out of the way to attack Sergio. Like, it's not
Mm.
it's not unheard of. But I still think the race was won before that incident with the pit stops. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think Monaco is that track where you can barely overtake. And
Yeah.
like well, I say this, but in a little while we'll bring up Pierre Gasly. Like,
Yeah.
um, but when you're fighting at the front, I think it's a bit different. You've got a lot to lose than if you were like at the back.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think the weather just threw everyone off like what they was planning. Like even at the start, they was all running down the straight like with the trolleys of tires, and then they was running back. They was in the pits. It was all just a big mess with the whole strategy. People didn't know if it was going to continue raining. It There was some rain predicted, and then it didn't happen. Um, Carlos made a really good call, and
Yeah.
it makes you think, why didn't Ferrari say? Carlos said to us like, he's going to wait type
Yeah.
thing. Do you want to do the same, or do you want to put in the option? And yeah,
Well, I
it,
think
that could have been a completely different race if that happened.
Yeah, I think Ferrari thought that Carlos was wrong. Now, hear me out. So, when it was Ferrari and it was always Kimi and Vettel, Ferrari always gave the better strategy to Vettel. And I remember in Monaco in 2017, they switched the strategies and they overcut Vettel to make him jump Kimi so he could win at Monaco. Um, And I reckon Ferrari thought if they put Charles on the Inters, that he was going to catch him and pass him before it went to slicks, and that was an easier way of swapping the drivers because of the current standings. But it just didn't work. I think they reacted. I think Sergio got it right with the call for where they were on track.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a really bold call from Sainz, but I'm really glad it worked for him because he kind of needed that this weekend, and I felt he got that in having a very strong race and almost passing Sergio, like putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, I think he stood his ground. I think we all know Charles is the golden boy at Ferrari. It's common knowledge. He was a Ferrari driver academy. Jules as well. His connection to Ferrari. Charles and Ferrari are like family. And then Carlos comes in, who wasn't part of that Ferrari academy. He wasn't brought up like through the ranks with them. Um, he's not going to have that same relationship with Ferrari as Charles does. Um, but he's respected, so they listen to what he says. But it's a factor of Carlos needs to put his foot down more, and then we'd see him more podiums. He might not be making silly mistakes, and he could get his first win eventually.
Yeah, yeah, he really. I think he's going to win this year.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
year, but
yeah.
win.
It's going to be really interesting for Baku because Max was really strong there. Sergio's got two podiums there and a racing point and a Force India. And then obviously he won last year in Baku. And Charles is really quick there too, and so is Carlos. Like Carlos was in the fight for a podium in Renault in 2018. So the four of them are really, really good at that track and have had good luck at that track, apart from the I'm stupid moment with Charles when he put it in the wall at the castle section. But I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think the four of them are going to be very close again.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting because obviously, like last year, Max was really quick, and he looked like he was set to win the race, like really early on, and then obviously the tire blowouts were just like I don't think
Yeah,
anyone expected it to happen, and it's like, oh well, could this possibly happen again?
yeah,
They've now got to count that as a possibility into their strategy,
yeah,
and it could catch some teams out.
yeah, definitely. They've redone the pit lane as well at Baku. I'm not sure what it looks
Haven't they?
like. Yeah, but apparently it was too dangerous. It was. It was very much too dangerous for like the entrance. Apparently, yeah, they've made it safer. Haven't seen it yet though, so fair enough if they have. But back to Monaco. Williams. It's kind of a race to forget for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't really remember what happened with them. They didn't crash, did they?
Latifi did on the warm up lap.
Oh yeah.
And so did Stroll. Our two favourite drivers crashed on the warm
Um,
up lap. It was great. It wasn't good for them though,
yeah.
was it?
No, but I think we knew that going into this race. They haven't been good at Monaco for years, so it's like I think they knew that as well. But yeah, there's not really much to talk about with them, is there?
No, not really. Apart from Latifi's race engineer saying that he should follow Albon because he might learn something. That was
Oh yeah.
that's gotta hurt. But yeah, I mean that must have hurt for Latifi, but I think he knows what's coming. To be fair, Aston though, they had a bit of a mixed weekend, I'd say. Vettel getting into Q3, scoring a point, which was nice. Making some great overtakes, I must say. Vettel and Stroll both put in some good moves. Stroll got one on Sonoda, Raskas, like quite early on, I think, which is nice. And Vettel was making a lot of overtakes, which was really good to see. So yeah, I mean they got to be disappointed with just the like minimal points, but still more points on the board.
I don't think they thought they was going to have a good weekend.
Mm.
A bit like Williams. Um, but they've got a good car at this moment in time. They haven't got the best car, but they've got a car which has got pace. And they've just got to know how to work it and get that car into the points. They've scored points now, so there's not a reason why they shouldn't be trying to do it every race.
Definitely, they've improved a lot from obviously the first couple of races where we said they might not
Yeah.
score points all year, and then they scored points the race after, which was great. Typical predictions from us there. But I mean, yeah, like they've definitely turned it around. They've now got obviously a green Red Bull, but I think, yeah, I think they'll be okay this year. Same for AlphaTauri, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, the crash in quali kind of really hurt Gasly. Gasly undercutting on Inters, that was nice to see. I think he got the call a bit, he took it a bit early, but he kept it on track and he kept it out of the wall. And then that strategy kind of worked for him, so that was nice.
He done well considering he started at like the back, which isn't like Gasly at all, is it? Especially because he looked so strong over the weekend. I thought he was going to start in the top 10. It's like a what if type situation. What could have happened? How many points could have he scored? Type thing.
And then we got Haas. Disaster. Mick. How do we tackle this question? Does he deserve his seat right now?
Don't know. Part of me wants to say yeah. Then part of me wants to say no. He's had two very big crashes in the space of 7 races.
I don't know. Gunter's getting angry with him.
I can say that his seat is not safe. There's already people wanting that seat. They could potentially replace him with Robert Schwartzman. Keep that Ferrari driver academy in the Haas.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's waiting for a seat in F1, isn't he? Which doesn't really get spoken about much.
Yeah, that's true.
Considering he finished second in Formula 2 last year, it doesn't really get spoken about.
No, that's true actually, yeah. I hope he doesn't become one of those forgotten talents. And he does get
He's a talented driver and he does deserve to be in F1. But yeah, I think he could possibly replace Mick. But then there's rumours of Mick potentially going to Aston Martin.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it because at the moment, like Gunter said, like he obviously K-Mag had really good pace and he had a water leak or something, which is why he had to retire. And then after that, he just said, and with Mick, I think we all saw what happened. It's like, I think he's getting very annoyed at him now, and we're all kind of there like, come on, man. If this was anyone else, if this was any other driver that didn't have Schumacher in their name, we would be seriously questioning if they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Which hurts, but I mean, Stroll got it a lot at the start. If it was Mazepin, if Mick was doing what Magnuten's doing and Mazepin's doing what Mick was doing, like what last year kind of was, we all said it then. So I think he has to score points in Baku. He has to get to the end of the race and score points.
He does. I agree with everything you said, but will it happen? That's the thing. I can't remember how Mick done there last year.
He nearly got put in a wall by Mazepin at the end.
I remember that. So he finished the race.
Yeah.
That's a good start. Good start. Yeah, no. It'll be interesting
because I really want him to do well. Like every part of me wants him to do well, but I think I wouldn't be. I don't think he'll lose his seat in the season. I'd be very surprised if he does.
Oh no, I don't think they'd do that.
But he has to start scoring points. Constructor fight and money and everything. They can't just have K-Mag scoring points because they'll finish 8th or 9th in the constructors. So yeah, he's just got to up his game. With Mick, it's just unlocking the potential. Which, speaking of unlocking potential, what is happening with Daniel Ricciardo?
Sometimes I feel like banging my head against the wall.
Yeah.
This isn't the Daniel Ricciardo that we've seen on our TV for the past 10 years.
No. And I fear this will be the last year we see him in an F1 car.
My
It
heart,
really
I feel like
hurts
it's
me to say.
breaking.
It really hurts me to say.
The thing is, at the moment, I agree. He's just getting shown up so badly. Like,
Yeah.
I thought last year was bad. This year's even worse.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, at the start of the season, McLaren were just awful. It was shocking. And then, like, as the races got on, they got better and better. And then Lando's just like, he looks really comfortable in the car.
Yeah.
Even when he's got tonsillitis, he's like, oh, I'm not even at 100% yet. Finished P6 with the fastest lap. Like, Lando is very comfortable in that car. Daniel
Isn't.
yeah,
It really hurts.
it does.
But I think
That's the thing.
it's gonna be Lando and Colton Herta next year. I'd say.
You think?
Based on at the minute, like who else could they put in there if they get rid of Danny
Oscar?
Rick? Yeah, but is Piastri's isn't he he's an Alpine driver though, isn't he, Oscar?
Oh. Yeah, but if Alpine keep Alonso, and they're gonna look for Oscar to get a seat at another team for like a year, like a loan type thing.
Yeah.
Then I saw rumours of Gasly going to McLaren, which I
That
think would
could
be
work.
pretty good.
That could work, yeah.
I don't really know who else. I'd say Colton Herta's in the mix. Gasly, but obviously he's still got a year left with Red Bull.
Yeah, contracts mean nothing with that team, though, do they? They'll find a way to get
rid of it. True. Yeah, I don't really know who else.
I think that could happen, though. We could get Ricciardo leave, Gasly to McLaren, and then that frees up an AlphaTauri seat, which will probably go to Vips or Deruvula or someone, won't it?
Yeah.
Lawson.
Yeah, depending on where they finish.
Yeah.
In the championship.
We could get Drogovic. I know he's not tied to any team. There's going to be so much to talk about with this driver market because we're going to be upset at the end of the year because there's going to be some of the drivers that we love that are gone.
I feel like I'm going to cry at the end of this year.
An Alpine. Bit of a nothing weekend. Alonso drove slowly, got some points.
That really annoyed me.
Ocon tried to drive quickly and didn't get any points. Yeah.
He almost crashed into Lewis.
Yeah, I'm unsure about that. Do you think that's a 5 seconds Ocon?
They made contact.
Yeah, they made contact. There's no disputing that. But it was in the wet, and Lewis just sent it up the inside.
Your point is, it's in the wet. What does that mean?
No, yeah, granted, alright, it doesn't matter about in the wet. I thought it was a racing incident. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being too.
They might have seen like an on board we haven't seen.
Yeah, because I really want Hamilton to do well as well. I like to put that. I know a lot of people think I don't like him. That's not true. I really want to see him do what G-Ross is doing. So it's not that it's because it was Lewis and Ocon. It's just I just didn't really think that was worth 5 seconds. But it cost.
I don't know. They took so long deciding. Everyone was like, "What's the penalty for?" Like,
yeah.
And then like Sky Sports was saying like he hasn't had any incidents apart from that one with Lewis. Yeah. I was like, but we didn't even know it was getting investigated.
Yeah.
It was all a bit like, oh, like Ocon has a 5 second time penalty. I was just like, okay. I don't know, like I see it, like I saw both like on boards and it is like 50-50. But yeah, they might have seen something different, which
yeah.
He wasn't 100% like on the pedal going full steam.
No. And they did say like I can see both sides of it because it is like, okay, you are backing the pack up here.
But for what? He pushed.
Yeah.
His teammate got pushed out the points.
Yeah, exactly. In hindsight, Alonso should have been pushing harder. so that Ocon could build a gap. But then it was too late. But then they got the warning that he got 5 seconds, and then it was kind of too late for Alonso to do anything because Alonso then pushed and ran away from Lewis, but Ocon couldn't get past. So I don't know. I think he's a bit sleazy, but we've seen it before. Do you think Alonso should have got a penalty?
What, for doing that?
Yeah.
Not really. I think, like, it'd be a bit weird if he did. Like, he wasn't exactly doing anything wrong, but he was driving slow. He wasn't 100%, but he wasn't driving slow enough to bring out, like, the yellows.
Yeah, I guess you can argue that if you're the car in front, you can control the pace. And I guess if he wasn't being dirty, he was like just saving his battery for the straights, and so I get it. It's just weird, isn't it? When you could see the map, you could see like the 2 races going on where there were like 10 and then 10 because everyone was stuck behind Fernando. Like, yeah, it was a bit weird, a bit clowny, like almost like trying to put on a show, like Miami. Alfa Romeo though, that was a bit of a mixed one as well, wasn't it? Zhou got a bit unlucky and just kind of at the back the whole time. He nearly crashed. That was quite a scary moment.
Yeah.
That was scary.
I bet he absolutely, like, he was like, what the hell, like, type situation. He's very lucky he saved that. That could have been horrible. But I think it kind of shows that he has got talent, like, to save, like, your car doing that around Monaco as well.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a different track, he might not have tried to save it because there could have been like a runoff area type thing. So yeah, he was lucky to save that, especially around Monaco.
Definitely. And Bottas kind of, where did he finish?
9th.
He did finish 9th, yeah. So he did get points. For some reason I thought he was 11th. But no, he was 9th. So yeah, it was a good race for Bottas. He said after that he was literally pushing flat out. So yeah, probably the best that they could have hoped for at that time. But more points on the board for them, which is lovely to see. I think they might have a strong weekend in Baku as well, to be fair. And it'd be good to see what Zhou can do there.
Yeah, he raced there last year in F2. I think he was quite unlucky though. I think he got pushed out like at the start, and he went into the wall or something like that. And I'm not sure about the other 2 races, but I don't think he won them.
Okay.
So he has got experience there. Obviously, it's very different in an F1 car, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. I'm not sure how Mercedes are going to do there. It was nice to see them both get points in Monaco. I still think Lewis is a couple tenths off Giros at the minute, but I think that gap will close very quickly, and I wouldn't be surprised if it then goes the other way, sort of like the later stage of the season. And then, yeah, Giros did very well again, still only driver to finish every race in the top 5, so Mr. Consistent, Mr. Sunday now, not just Mr. Saturday. But yeah, how do we reckon they're going to do in Baku with the porpoising?
I don't know, because in Barcelona they didn't have any, but Monaco they did. But I didn't really see that much from them in the race, like pausing, like unless they done something Saturday to like help fix it a little bit. But they seem to know what to do. So I don't know. Obviously, you got that straight, haven't you, at Baku? So
yeah,
that will be interesting. But if it comes back for them, I could possibly say it'll come back for most teams. I just have that feeling. So we could see a different result potentially. I don't see them doing bad at all. Probably double points finish again.
Yeah.
Be nice to see Lewis like a little bit up there, not like 7th or 8th like the past couple.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Lewis get a couple of podiums like in the next few races, but you'd have to expect something to happen to one of the top four. Which, gone by this season, probably isn't out of the window. Like, it could happen. So, it will be interesting. I did like the podium celebration when everyone heard Perez announce that he had an extra contract signed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
That was
reckon Red Bull are mad at that because now, like, Gasly knows his future.
well, obviously it was I signed too early, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Christian Horner was like, haha, yeah. Obviously didn't realise that a camera was right behind him videoing it all. And then I think they had to announce it. They couldn't wait months and months. But I saw something like last week saying Christian Horner said that they was going to wait till summer break.
Really? That's weird. If it's already signed, why wait that long? Because, like, yeah.
No, like contract talks, them two. Like,
oh,
correct.
really?
Yeah. So I didn't expect him to sign until after that whole I should have like waited type thing. Like we all knew he signed after that, but that's the impression I was going on.
Okay.
And for 2 years as well.
Yeah, I know. So he's the end of this year, the end of next year, and the end of 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Okay. Do you think Sergio can challenge this year then? I think he can.
Potentially.
If he, do
I think he's going to win it this year? No.
Okay. Do you know if they didn't swap the drivers in Spain, the top three would be separated by 3 points at the moment?
Yeah, well, that just is heartbreaking, isn't it?
I know. Is it? Because it would be Max on 118, Sergio 117, Charles 116. And then you got to think as well, I know obviously he probably wouldn't have won in Spain, but it would have been nice if he fought it. And then you got to think, Jeddah, he was winning. He was in control, and then the safety car came out and completely ruined it. So, had he won Jeddah,
he could be leading this
he could be legit leading this title. It'll be very interesting to see what the standings are like at the summer break. Oh, yeah. Idea.
Oh.
Give me your top four for the summer break.
Oh, it's obviously going to be the two Red Bulls and the Ferraris.
Say that. G. Ross is still fourth in the standings.
Oh, shit, yeah.
All right, give me your top five. Top five for the summer break. We'll predict and see what's going to happen. Cause,
let me just look at the races.
Yeah, I've thrown you a massive curveball here, haven't I?
Canada, Silverstone, Austria, France, Hungary.
Oh, that's a lot more races than I thought. Okay. Let's have a
so
look.
we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races until summer break.
Okay.
Be
hard, actually.
I think I've got mine.
Yeah?
I think so.
Go on.
So, I'm going to say Max is leading the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Perez second. Charles third. Russell fourth. Carlos fifth.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say Charles, Sergio, Max, Carlos, G. Russ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was also very close with my quali, wasn't I?
You was, yeah.
2 weeks in a row, I've been pretty close. Yeah, the one time I predict like a boring-ish one. But okay, that'll be interesting to see. That wraps up our Monaco review episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will be back next time for the Baku preview with our qualifying predictions, and I'm going to go for 3 in a row of beating you. But yes, thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.